All right, this segment is part two, leaving Las Vegas from the Chrysler part of the video. How lucky can you get? You're heading home, and there's a snowstorm, closes down the Eisenhower Tunnel. You get stuck in Glenwood Springs. You see this Corvair, you follow it off the road. You know, they had the exit urging people to get off the freeway. And you stumble on a fellow Corvair event. I've been in CORSA since 93 or 94, the Corvair, that's the National Corvair Club. And I didn't even know about this. This is an annual tri-state meet. And by the way, the video you see here, I took that the next day on my way home, heading towards Denver. But anyway, yeah, I got stuck there at Glenwood Springs. There just happens to be a Corvair event, and the first segment here is the car show. So I hope you really enjoy this. I sure did. Stay at this hotel, and so look at this.
There just happens to be a regional Corvair meeting where I end up getting stuck, of all places. Of all places. So yeah, I stayed the night, and now here's the show part of their tri-state convention here in the very center of Colorado, off of I70. There's I70 right there. What is it? Greenwood Springs, I think. I don't even. West of Vail, quite a ways. So anyway, we got every car on display here. Every Corvair model, the FCs, the forward control trucks. We've got the station wagons, we've got 2 doors, 4 doors, we've got the early models, late models, convertibles, hard tops, high performance, low performance, 140s, turbos. So every single one of them. There's a nice Greenbrier right there. So yeah, everything's represented. Nice Holly carb on this one. We got a turbo with a, what is that, a SU carburetor, or?
I had an orange convertible back then. And I sold that, and but anyway.
Utah.
Somebody told me to tell you about this. So I got these disc brakes.
So let's go down the row here and we'll see what we got.
Yeah, I've definitely got to understand that you need to have
The wagons lately seem to be the ones that really get the attention when they go up for sale, that's for sure. Has the clock option on there, which is always nice. This one's a Power Glide model. And something a lot of people don't know is the roof rack. This one is mounted in the proper place. I see a lot of them where they mount them back here, and that's actually not where they're supposed to go. But for weight reasons, this is where they were intended to be mounted, towards the front of the car.
Well, you have to be prepared for it.
She had kids, and she got the car.
Because if I can't pick them up, they're too big.
Now this one here, this is a 68. It's got the
It was always a
marker lights. It'll have different, they don't have the factory dual brakes. It's one of the hallmarks of these. So yeah, we got the side marker lights here, as they're supposed to have for that year. Let's see, that's a, and this one here, I can't remember why it's got a return to the tank. Is that always 68 and up?
It's an option.
Oh, it's optional. That goes up to the filler neck side, isn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah. So, I don't know a lot about the 68, 69s. Of course, some of these had smog pumps, or was that just 69?
Yeah, and that's probably, yes, he doesn't have a fuel pump on it. It's got an electric somewhere.
Oh, okay, yep.
You know, there's a lot of changes.
Deal there.
And that's not bad, it's just that's what it is.
Yep, yep.
Yes.
They're all the same.
These, the one thing though, if you're not familiar with Corvairs, oop, I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
No, you're okay. You're good.
One thing though, that if you're not familiar with Corvairs, don't sell them short on handling. You can take turns like any 90s or 2000 era car, and a lot of people are drawn to the conventional, you know, rear, you know, front engine, rear differential type cars of that era. And the reason those cars outsold, of course, because of price at that time. But the Corvairs were much more fun to drive, especially on handling and corners and this and that. And the old question always comes up anytime you post something about Corvairs publicly. They say, "Oh, Ralph Nader killed the Corvair." And the truth is, he actually, if it wasn't for him, the Corvairs would have been finished in '66. So out of spite, GM kept them going another 2 years, or until '69. Now, this one here is the same color as mine. Mine's a 4-door, but
Yeah.
I think this is the best color
Oh, is that your
for
truck?
the eyes.
Dude, nice.
Thank you, man. Where are you from?
Lakewood.
Lakewood?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
This one right here is my personal favorite color for a Corvair.
This one drove here.
I've had 2 sedans at this color, and it's just, I don't know, it suits my eye the best, especially in the 4 doors. But this is the first convertible I've ever seen in this color. And look at here, I've seen pictures of this somewhere, I think. So this one is, what do we got here? I don't know. Pretty heavy duty, eh? Oh, here's a cutaway. The cutaway one.
Yeah, this is Seymour.
Well, here we go. Seen pictures of this, but never thought I'd actually see it in person.
Yeah.
Look at that. So you can see the cooling system, you can see how the air works its way down through the fins. We've got the push rod tubes, the valve cover area. You know, so it comes out to about here. That's the whole width of those heads. And the heat exits this way and comes out the back through these vents, basically. So we'll look at the other side. It should have all that. Yeah, here you go. That's how completed picture.
But it's nice to know that you know.
And right there, the base of the back seat, we have the end of the transmission. You can see the fully independent rear suspension here. So this torque arm allows the wheel and the brake drum to stay perpendicular with the ground. And these 65 and later models are typically overlooked when people mention the Corvair. They think of the swing arm type that, of course, Ralph Nader wrote about. So when his book came out, this change was already in production. the book was irrelevant completely. That's a good point to make. And then subsequently in '66, from what I've heard, production was to end, but thanks to his book, GM decided to keep the cars going for another 3 years. So he actually helped extend the life of the Corvair. It wasn't him that ended the Corvair. It was actually the Ford Mustang, due to the price. So anyway, let's look at the rest of this.
No, you're not.
Well, they did a really good job at
Put it on there.
this
Yeah, he's the one that
display here. Look at that. All taken care of.
Thanks. Here's the member's phones and
The glass. This is interesting. If you ever have to pull the radio, you got to take this. From my experience, at least, you got to take this defroster out, which is a real pain because there's a whole number of things that come out with that together. The suspension is pretty straightforward. The front suspension, that is, and the whole piece comes out as one. If you need to repair that.
Tony's pulls things out of his pocket.
Or are these Tony's bikes?
I think so.
Let me look at that carb again. See here.
Where did these come from, Tony?
Real simple here.
This one came out of back east. It was expensive.
And that's from my own experience too. That's
Are
another.
these yours from before?
That's another issue that
Well, where did these come
when you put these together, you always want to make sure you get those floats set right. Good float valves, and make sure you're not exceeding 4 or 5 psi at the most of fuel pressure. Because like me, you will be in trouble. This thing might actually run on 3 cylinders. Who knows?
I could have paddled it out.
Oh, look at there. A Steve McGarrett's car. A Mercury Park, what is it? You know what? I got to look at this real quick. Steve McGarrett. Actually, this is the year before his, I think. The Mercury, what is it? Park something. So here's a '69 model. And I don't have a lot of light here. There's a shadow, but it's got the smog pump. And maybe this will help somebody. They got these parts laying around. They wonder what they were. Here you go. This is definitely something that you don't see too often, in the rarest of all Corvairs. And tell me if I'm right or wrong, but these engines are kind of ideal because they're low compression heads. And they're really good on, if you take the smog stuff off, you can still run regular cheap unleaded gas. So that's one of the benefits of these engines here. And it looks like it doesn't have the enrichment jets. It has the Boss for them, but I don't see them drilled through here on the carburetor. So this is a commercial type of toolbox. They painted the color of the truck. We got the LED reverse light set up here. And the license plate that everybody wants.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, we're not getting that one.
Yep, forget that one, yep. But,
I can't believe somebody didn't already have it, but she got it.
yeah, that's a tough one. That's everybody has that or Nader.
Yeah, that's right.
Some type of version of that.
Nader was wrong.
See, does this one have the vent deal, or what year is this one anyway?
Probably like a 62.
Oh wow, yeah, it's got the long shifter, yeah. And what do we got here?
I like the red, but my green one is
63, there we go.
That's the light blue one. Yeah, that's exceptional. I like that. It wears it well. It's a period correct Chevy.
This one here shows how good of a traveling car these are. Plenty of room in the front.
Some easy driving. And this car sees a lot of miles right here, I believe.
That's where you always held your paperwork.
How many?
Look over here. See this? You know what that is? An ashtray. Yep. One on each side. Yep.
How many road miles do you have on this?
123,000.
Wow. See, I knew you probably drove this.
I have a feeling. I've put 25,000 miles on this car since I've owned it.
Wow, I'm surprised it has that many when you got it.
It had 97,000 original miles when I bought the car.
When did you get it? Does it say here?
I got this car 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
2015. I found that in Palm Springs at the swap meet. It was like,
Oh, you put it in.
I put that in.
But I could see that being in something like this.
And
you know,
and
that's what
it's
made
it's
for.
a part for it's an accessory for the Corvair.
So at the last minute, a 60 model showed up from Albuquerque Club. There you go. Factory stock here. The hoses, the choke area, everything's the way it ought to be. I noticed one thing, you aficionados, he's missing the clip. That seems to be the rarest part of the 1960. That little clip right there. Yep, he's got the spring under the actuator. What else do I know? I had one of these batteries before. Well, the real one. That looks like some type of a... Oh, yep. Nice looking plates on there. And I always like these wheel covers here. And we got a Datsun 1600 show up. 66 Mercury over there. Another car from New Mexico.
I know, you probably do. And it's still okay, you probably recognize it. He probably was a young person, very young person when this car came out.
Oh, so you got the urethane suspension.
I'm sorry?
You got the urethane suspension? Was that you? Somebody said.
No.
Oh, okay, that was the other one.
No, the urethane's a little stiff.
That's what I thought.
A little
Yeah.
hard, a little hard on the ride.
Yep.
Some of these guys modify the cars and they don't realize they take as much away as they add, you know?
Somebody pointed over and said he's got the urethane suspension. That's why I asked. There must have been another one.
Great for racing.
Yeah, it'll hurt you. You
You're
can see the
racing?
chiropractor a bunch.
Do it. You're not going to ride on the road. Don't. Use the rubber. That's the joints inside.
Yep.
You can either make them urethane, which is plastic.
These handle enough. You don't need the extra.
Rubber, which is the original. And the joints and the rubber absorbs
Yep.
the road irregularities much more easily than urethane.
Yeah, that's more for racing.
Yes.
Yeah, well, if you're just traveling around the country, what would you want to race other cars, right?
Yep. Yeah, you want to get there.
There's a factor. There's a group.
Also, and it's
Oh, really?
much the
64?
same mirror.
Oh, same
yeah.
piece. Yeah.
But other than that, the mirror don't belong on the car. The rest of the stuff pretty much does. The wheels, these have got the very early centers, but it's a very early built 64 car.
Yep, it does have the transverse leaf spring on there.
This has the spring on the rear. Some of the changes that came didn't
You
come.
kept the generator on there. That's good to see.
Yeah, that's
It's kind
all.
of a pain sometimes.
Just
but-
exactly the way that it was originally. They actually come. That is not the original generator for this car, but yeah, it does have the original system. The only thing that's changed, it does have a Protronics in it. It was in it when I got the car, and
So
I've
it's
had
never
it 20
failed on you?
years. This
Oh,
one has
wow.
never. I shouldn't say the original one that was in the car I took out because the third or fourth version, I don't know if you've ever followed the Pertronics.
Yeah, the new versions haven't had any trouble from what I
Right,
know.
because the very first ones, if
Yeah, I
you just disconnected it, everything and tried to run a compression check, if there was no resistance in there, it would smoke that. You could destroy the unit just running
Yeah,
a
someone
compression
said,
check on the car.
somebody told me
Yeah.
just arcing one will ruin
Do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Supposedly, so they
Yeah,
were
the
supposed
first
to be.
earlier.
They were supposed to be pretty temperamental.
It's got the lock
I
on it.
swapped it. Yeah, that's the setup, and I love the wheels. They're a difference on these.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah, and there's several changes on a 64 that were mid-year, and we tried to figure out when them changes were made.
Yep. Now they always had the harmonic balancer for that.
They did.
Is this a 64?
This is a 64, yeah. And things that has very, very early model 64. As I was saying, the production date. Yes, filthy under there.
Well, you got the right grill. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that's
mix
great.
and match 'em.
This is.
Mike, turn right up here, right?
Yeah, go up there, turn right, go through the first roundabout, left throw right in.
Well, the end of a wonderful day here, saying bye to the Corvair and the Corvair people. Really the nicest people there are. One guy was telling me the Corvair club people are the nicest people, nicest club he's ever seen, because breakdowns or people that need help or advice, there's always someone willing to help. So we're, gotta wait on this bus here. We've got to head on west now towards Denver.
And if you enjoyed these types of videos, I'd appreciate if you'd subscribe to us. At least hit the like button, and that will get us up higher in the algorithm. Of course, we've got a lot of plans here, so I think you'll enjoy it. Thanks, and take care.